All right, if you're like me, you think impeachment is a waste of time. You've seen this story before. You know that both parties are very likely to stick to whatever the position of the national party is, meaning that you're going to see very few people cross over. And usually when they do, it's in favor of the president. Secular Talk, aka Kyle Kalinske, whatever you want to call him, has put out a video yesterday, which I think it's about the best place we can be for what's happened. So I'm going to play it and I'm going to comment on it.
There is an out for the Democrats. There is an out. And they're kind of semi-taking it at the moment, but it's going to change. So Nancy Pelosi right now is sitting on these articles of impeachment. It passes the House. She's sitting on it. She hasn't sent it to the Senate yet. And the contention is, well, we need better rules for the trial because the rules as they're constructed right now would make it an unfair trial, so we need better rules for the trial. So come on, Mitch, get your stuff together, and then I'll send it. You guys have heard me explain this before, but I have to explain it again. I think she should permanently sit on the articles of impeachment and never send it to the Senate. And as you never send it to the Senate, the entire time, point the finger at McConnell and say, it's not me holding it up, it's him. He's the reason why it's not in the Senate yet. Don't talk to me about it, talk to him about it. He rigged the process, the rules are terrible, I'm trying to send it, but what can I do? It's not on me, it's on McConnell. What do you want me to tell you? Now why? Why do I say that? Because a new poll just came out. Post-impeachment, impeachment support went up 4 points. So, it was 48%. Now it's all the way up to 52%. That's as good as it's going to get for the Democrats. Best case scenario, let's say best case scenario, you go out there, you blame McConnell, and you just keep repeating, president's impeached, the president's impeached, the president's impeached, the president's impeached. Then maybe you could get all the way, if you're lucky, to 55% support for impeachment. But the second those articles actually get to the Senate and we have the trial, and the trial ends, his approval rating is going up 5 to 10 percentage points. Easy. I'd bet a lot of money on that right now.
Okay, let me break down what he said. So, because Kyle and myself and a lot of the other commentators are people who follow this stuff on a daily basis, we don't buy the media pony show that reinforces or tries to prop up this narrative that, oh yes, if we just show enough evidence, the Republicans will feel so compelled to have a couple of their members switch over and they'll be guided to the light. No, we know that's not happening. These people are guided by their political futures and money. That's it. Whatever is politically convenient and whatever appears to be something that can forward their career, like a bribe, then they'll take it. So when he mentions never sending it to the Senate, you can keep the position of Trump being an impeached president without it being, ended with an acquittal. Because whether he likes it or not, he has been impeached by one chamber and not the other, but he still has been impeached. You could probably hold that out for maybe a year or whatever. It would work for a while, just saying the impeached president, in whatever verbal manner you want to. And really the whole point of doing this, as he stated, was also to highlight the fact that we're going to be able to place blame on McConnell for why this didn't go to the Senate, even though we know that the real reason that we're not even going to bother trying to get over there is because the Republicans are going to just vote to acquit him. And I like how his whole position is based on dealing with the reality of what's happened, where, he admits, I wouldn't have done this anyway, which is what I've said before, because why waste your time on something that the result of is not going to go in the way you want. And he mentions the other outcome of this, which is that if Trump were acquitted, he'd go around bragging, ha, 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 I succeeded. They failed to get rid of me. I'm unstoppable. The deep state is never going to, even though we know the real deep state is composed of members of both parties. So if it was actually the deep state trying to get rid of them, they would have gotten rid of them. Their bipartisan positions. But he's going to be able to sell that to his supporters who are going to buy it, because they'll look at the actual vote and they'll go, oh man, they could have gotten rid of President Trump. Thank God there aren't more Democrats in there. and this will be to his, victory lap. This video that Kyle did was also talking about the fundraising surge that he had during impeachment, and this is what I was talking about, where the Republicans cater to a figure that the establishment seems to be going after. So when it was just a couple, maybe like 3, 4, 5 people saying, hey, Trump should be gotten rid of, they were like, oh, whatever, that's just the lone voices in the DNC. But then when the whole party or most of the party switches over to supporting that, oh my God, we got to donate. And that's exactly what's happened. And it's something that Democrats could have avoided if they never started this in the first place. If they had just kept it to Waters and, some of the progressive members of the House who have been very disappointing, it would have been over. But too much stupidity caused them to, go forward with something that was never going to end up going anywhere. And now they're being given a chance by Kyle's, recommendation to actually do something that still might salvage the situation, as opposed to Trump being able to go around and say, they tried to get me in the Senate and it looks like it didn't work. We can go around and say, hey, we tried to have this go to the Senate, but then Trump's best friend in the whole wide world, the Senate Majority Leader, decided with his turtle self to to not bother with having any kind of fairness on this vote or letting us bring witnesses. And he even mentions in the same clip that it's actually kind of shows you how stupid McConnell is, because if you know all your members are going to vote to acquit Trump and they're going to stick by his side no matter what difference would it make to you if the Democrats decide to bring in some witnesses who are only going to change the mind of, if they do for anybody, people that can't even vote on this? But this is what I was talking about again, where people, they don't even, they don't think, I just want to stop the Democrats from, and I do think that I would rather they just have a vote. But the point is, if McConnell was this master chess player, he would have let the witnesses come in, waste 3 or 4 weeks of everybody's time, and then after that's over, have the vote, acquit Trump, and stick a middle finger in the DNC's face. But again, that's the kind of thinking that these people don't have. It's all just, he's trying to appear tough and bold and go back to his obstructionist angle for his re-election campaign next year. So I like this idea by Kyle. Hopefully the Democrats adopt it. But, knowing their intelligence or lack thereof, I doubt it.